Hey guys, it's Di from BeingMommywithStyle. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a chatty vlog just to start a conversation with you guys. I haven't done one of these like housewife, stay-at-home mom, mommy chats in a while, and I wanted to do one of those. And especially if there's anyone that's in kind of like a similar situation, or if you're thinking ahead to this similar situation, I thought it would be an interesting thing to talk about down in the comments. So I was just in the mood to do a chatty video, and today is the first day of school for Isabella. She's off of first grade. Natalie's hanging out at home today, but she starts school pre-K4 next week. So she'll be at school 3 days a week, and then next year she starts kindergarten full-time. So she'll be in school 5 days a week next year. So we're at one of those really like crossroad points, and it really does get you thinking, especially like on these first days, these milestones, you know, about what the future holds and what decisions you have to make. And I'm in kind of an interesting situation at this point. I mean, assuming nothing changes between now and next year, if you know the situation is the same, we're not even gonna get into like if we decided to have more kids, that's a completely different video. So we're just gonna assume nothing changes with that, nothing changes with my husband's position. I mean, obviously right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my husband has a career which it has the ability to support us and do everything that we need to do. So really the crossroads that I'm at is going to be a choice and a personal decision of what I decide to do. And so that's really what, you know, these milestone days really start getting you thinking about all that kind of stuff. So I thought it'd be a fun chatty video. So for stay-at-home moms that are needing to or going to have to decide what to do after all their kids are in school. So do you continue on being that stay-at-home mom housewife role, or do you look at finding something part-time, or do you look at finding yourself back in full-time work? So the situation that I'm in, I have 2 degrees in case you're just coming to my channel and finding me, or if it's been a long time since I mentioned it. I have a bachelor's degree in marketing. I have a master's degree in business administration. I've owned a dance studio in the past, and I've worked in various full-time positions. And at the time when I had Isabella, the economy had tanked here in Michigan, and so when I came out of my master's degree program, I was working for the marketing department. I was working at some private research firms, and the market had basically tanked. That was when the whole like automotive scenario was going on, if you guys remember all that, in like 2008 I think it was. So it's just not a great year to be graduating. So anyways, I went back to teaching dance part-time, and then found out we were gonna have Bella, and that's basically what started my stay-at-home mom career. So that's what I've been doing since. And then obviously YouTube fell in my lap, which was an unexpected surprise. I really enjoy YouTube. It's a super fun hobby, and it kind of crosses over into that like kind of a hobby, kind of a job thing sometimes. And that can be its whole separate other video too. I want to do a video coming up on, you know, sponsorships and YouTube, and there really are some like polarizing opinions, and I have an opinion on all that kind of stuff because I appreciate the business side of it, but I think it's a little different with YouTube versus like a blog. So I just thought I'd put my opinion out there and do a video on that. So that'll be its own separate video too. But as far as like coming to that crossroads of like deciding what I'm going to do, it's really an interesting decision because obviously a lot can change in a year. So this is a year away. It's not like it's immediate, but it's one of those things where I've always like had a drive to be doing something, but it's really interesting because YouTube fulfills that. So I always thought I would go back to work after the kids were in school full time, but then I'm in a situation of, well, what do I do? Do I continue doing what I'm doing and keep that full-time parent role and be like the primary parent or whatever you want to call it, and then do the YouTube and blogging and all that stuff on the side, and then it's just a really nice like supplemental income, and that's fine, and we do that for a while? Or do I look at going back full-time, and then, you know, you're in the position of 2 working parents and juggling things back and forth, and, you know, what scenario do we want? What do I want to choose? It's one of those things where sometimes people do what they have to do, and if nothing else changes between now and next year, obviously lots of things could change, it will be a choice next year. So then it's really a matter of you have to sit down and kind of mull that over for yourself, figure out what your choice is. So I was just really wondering if anyone else is coming up on this kind of crossroads for themselves, and what your thoughts on it. Did you always think that when you were a stay-at-home mom that you would get back into the working world, or did you always think that when you were a stay-at-home mom you would continue on as that housewife and being around the house in a full-time role? You know, for me, it's a very fluid thing. So it's it's one of those things where, while I wanted to do certain things, I've never had like a set in stone, like this is the way things absolutely have to be. I've always been kind of flexible with whether I was at home or working, that sort of thing. I always knew I kind of wanted to stay at home when the kids were younger because I thought that would be nice. And then after that, I didn't really have a plan, I guess. I guess that's the problem. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It's kind of an interesting thing to have to mull over for yourself. And another thing that's come up, and this is just kind of like on a side thing, you know, my husband works at a large corporation and they occasionally get notifications when they have things that are open and that sort of thing. And a job came up and he was like, this fits you perfectly. And they have an opening where it's in digital marketing media, and they're looking for a person that has a bachelor's like I have, an MBA, and has experience with analytics, has experience with social media marketing. And it's like, holy cow, like did they write this for me? But the timing is just not right. I mean, it would be absolutely horrible to try to figure out something like that when not both kids were in school full time quite yet, and to try to scramble like through halfway, you know, in the middle of a year, like trying to figure that out. I mean, I'm sure people do it, but that's just not kind of my ideal situation, I don't think. So while the job sounds completely interesting, I just, you know, it's brought up an interesting point, I guess. That scenario combined with the girls getting older, it's like, well, what do you do? So do you just pursue that full-time at-home parent position? Or do you go out and, you know, pursue career ambitions and then have to kind of do that work-life balance thing? Because I see that, and it is a struggle. It's a struggle. You know, I see my husband, he works during the week, and if you work for a corporation, it's very demanding, you know, especially if you work in a job where it's, you know, you're managing people and it's, you know, high profile or whatever. It's taxing and it's demanding, and it's sometimes even hard, I think, to transition from that corporate fast-paced environment and to come home and slow down and just really be able to focus. Because I think by the time that you've been at work all week long, you just want to go, ugh. I know that I did whenever I worked. But it's interesting, and it's been on my mind today, so I thought I would do a chatty vlog to see if anyone else has been in the same type of situation. So I'll leave it like that. Just let me know your comments down below. What are your thoughts? Did you always know you were going to do one or the other? Do you have like a personal preference for one or the other? Because I really don't. I mean, I think I would be really pretty okay no matter what ends up panning out. And I guess, what's your plan after the kids are in school full time? Do you have goals, like as far as, you know, you definitely want to go out and get this XYZ certain type of job? Or are you planning on being a full-time parent and that's what your goal is? So I'm interested in hearing what your goals and aspirations are. Hopefully some of you guys have experienced this as well, and I thought we could have some good comments down below. And that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.